Reynoso.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, I appreciate very much the opportunity to appear before this committee today as President Obama's nominee to be U.S. Ambassador to Uruguay. I am very grateful and humbled by the confidence that President Obama and Secretary Clinton have shown in me by this nomination. This nomination is a great honor for me, and I look forward to another opportunity to serve my country if confirmed. With the Chairman's permission, I wish to recognize the many friends and family I have here today, and mentors and colleagues. I'm not going to name all of them, but they're all here, pretty much on my right-hand side, that have supported me over the years. Many of them here today, my mother in particular, and many of them came from New York City, my home. It is only with their steady support that I am here, seeking the U.S. Senate's confirmation, and I wish to sincerely thank them for their guidance and support throughout the years. The relationship between the United States and Uruguay is extremely strong. We share important values, including a commitment to democracy, rule of law, sound economic policies, strong labor rights, environmental protection, investment in people, the desire to see the peaceful resolution of disputes between nations, and a commitment to the multilateral system. If confirmed, I look forward to continuing the productive dialogue between our two countries and will work diligently to advance these goals. Uruguay is a constructive partner which plays an important role in promoting regional stability and democracy. The country is also a partner in conflict resolution, contributing to peacekeeping missions throughout the globe. Uruguay remains one of the top troop and police contributors per capita to the United Nations peacekeeping overall. We welcome their contributions to improving security in Haiti, as well as in other difficult locations throughout the world. If confirmed, I look forward to working with President Mujica, Foreign Minister Almagro, the Uruguayan government, civil society, and the private sector as we advance bilateral relations and strengthen the political, commercial, and cultural ties between our two countries. If confirmed, I would give the highest priority to ensuring the well-being and safety of U.S. citizens who live and travel in Uruguay. I would seek opportunities for enhanced trade between the United States and Uruguay and promote U.S. exports to Uruguay. I would advocate for further cooperation under our Science and Technology Agreement as well as our Trade and Investment Framework Agreement. U.S. exports to Uruguay have steadily increased over the last years to $973 million in 2010, up 30% from 2009. And we enjoyed a 738 million goods trade surplus with Uruguay. There are approximately 100 U.S. companies currently operating in Uruguay at this time. If confirmed, I will work vigorously to promote U.S. businesses and believe we can continue to find new opportunities for increased trade between the two countries. And I will encourage programs that improve inclusive economic growth as well as promote public-private partnerships. To build greater understanding and mutual understanding through direct contact between Uruguayans and Americans, I will work to establish more partnerships between colleges and universities in Uruguay and the United States. Members of the committee, my work in the Department of State has offered me significant insights into the vital partnerships that exist between the branches of government, and if confirmed, I will work diligently to further develop these partnerships. If I am confirmed as ambassador, I look forward to working with you, each of you, your distinguished colleagues, and your staff to advance our priorities with the Oriental Republic of Uruguay. Thank you again for the great opportunity to appear before you today, and I welcome any questions you may have.
Why, as you've analyzed this in your various roles, have we not pursued the free trade agreement to begin with? And is there value in having this preference agreement? Or really, what suggestions do you have as to how we are going to accelerate the trade with Uruguay, which you already pointed out is substantial, but given the nature of that economy and the instincts of people of Uruguay could be magnified, in my judgment, significantly more.
Thank you, Senator, for the question. As you noted, our trade with Uruguay is substantial. It's complex. It's elaborate. It ranges from agriculture to energy to infrastructure. we do have a trade and investment framework agreement in place with Uruguay that we use in a very robust and I believe an effective way. We meet regularly with our Uruguayan counterparts, and we have many matters in terms of commercial interests on the table to pursue to allow for even greater opportunity to come from that agreement. As you also noted, there was talk in the past of a free trade agreement with Uruguay. My understanding is that that is no longer on the table. And I think that both parties chose not to pursue it for domestic reasons. Should I be confirmed, Senator, I do look forward to, one, working within the context of and the framework of the current TIFA, of the current Trade and Investment Framework Agreement, to expand its impact in terms of the opportunities for U.S. businesses and U.S. trade, but also consult at the highest level within the Uruguayan government, and obviously consult at the highest levels in this government to assess whether there is any interest in pursuing in a firm and serious way a trade agreement with Uruguay.
Are there protectionist sentiments in Uruguay? You mentioned that the free trade agreement had not progressed because of reticence on both sides. Sometimes that's occurred on our side, but is that the case in Uruguay?
Well, Senator, my understanding is that there were reservations in Uruguay. I can't tell you the particulars of who, how, but I do understand that there were some domestic concerns as to why a trade agreement at the time that it was being considered was not opportune.
I appreciated your mention in your testimony of the potential for more college student exchanges between the countries. How many Uruguayan students come to the United States now? Do you have any idea?
I would imagine, and this is just and I can get back to you with real numbers, Senator, but I would imagine in the thousands, tens of thousands. I would imagine.
So already there's quite a
there is quite a bit of back and forth in terms of exchange.
This applies to all of the folks here, but just reviewing your resume, it's pretty impressive. What are you doing in government is my biggest question. But anyway, congratulations to you. I know your family's here, and they should be very proud of your accomplishments, and I look forward to supporting your nomination. I do have a question about organized crime in Uruguay. There are reports of, in fact, I'm reading an article here from the Christian Science Monitor dated the 26th of January, and it talks about how traditionally Uruguay has been one of the safest countries in Latin America, but there's this increasing battle going on between different narco organizations, the fear that some of this violence is spreading towards that country. What are your thoughts about it in the short term? What can we be doing? What kind of assistance can we be providing? You know, what's your general mindset in regards to how serious a problem it is and what we can be doing to head it off before it rises to the level of some of the other countries in the region?
Thank you, Senator. As you noted, there is a sense of, there is an increase in insecurity in Uruguay. The population itself is taking notice, and the government of Uruguay is also taking notice. We have a very robust and productive working relationship with the Uruguayan government with respect to security. Our law enforcement agencies are very much working closely with them. And obviously, at this point, we're looking at possibilities of working even more closely, because as you noted, the risk and the insecurity, and we understand that there is an increase in certain types of organized crime. Our Office of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement under Ambassador Brownfield has been working with counterparts in Uruguay to provide support in terms of assessing risks, especially around issues of illicit trafficking and organized crime. So there is already a dialogue with the Uruguayans in this regard. We have a very good cooperation with them in terms of law enforcement. But I think as an initial matter, we're trying to assess, working with them, what the problem is, and so we can get a better idea of how we can work with them to tackle it. Thank you.
To his predecessor, President Vasquez.
Thank you, Senator. We have a very good working relationship with the Uruguayan government. We had a very good relationship with President Vasquez. President Mujica shares a similar vision of Uruguay and similar vision of our relationship with Uruguay. The principles of democracy, of conflict resolution, of economic stability and social inclusion continue under this administration as they did under President Vasquez. So I believe, if confirmed, the engagement with the Uruguayan authorities and President Mujica himself will be as productive and as effective as we had under President Vasquez.